Come join us inside the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska for Splash on Deck presented by Xfinity. We are coming to you live from the Aqua Lounge, and it is night 2 at the 2020 Olympic Trials for swimming. I'm your host, Amy Van Dyken. Stay right here for everything that you want to know about swimming so that you are in the know. Well, we had a lot going on last night, but we have a lot going on tonight, but in order to talk about tonight, we need to hit up what happened last night. So let's look at some highlights. Let's go look first from the women. We started off with the semifinals of the women's 100 butterfly, and in the first heat, we had a young swimmer, Tori Husk. She came out of the blocks looking spectacular right off the bat. Great undulation, and here she is at the finish of this. Look at her lead, and she hits the wall, and it was a new American record. A record 9 years in the making. And then in the second heat, we had Kelsey Dahlia. She is back, and of course, all eyes were on her. Just loving her stroke. I mean, you can always tell when she is in there. Stroke is just perfection. And watch this finish. She's got a lot more left in the tank for tonight, you guys. So it is going to be a great race between these women. Let's go ahead and head off to the first final for the women. We're going to crown our very first Olympian of the Olympic trials in the women's 400 IM. This was really anybody's race. We had Haley Flickener in the heat, so of course, we knew she was going to do well. We had some youngsters. Watch this finish. Haley Flickener and Emma Wyatt almost a tie. And here is Emma Wyatt just making her very first Olympic team. That face is priceless. And here she is leaving last night.
Oh my God. Oh, my Olympian. Oh my God. Oh my God, my Olympian. Oh, you look cute. They kicked us out. Hey, guys. Thank you. Emma, you are an Olympian. An Olympian. Yes, I will carry all of your stuff. Here.
Oh, and she is an Olympian. Congratulations to her. And here's the thing, even Olympians need their moms to help carry all the swag that they're bringing out here. So congratulations to her. And that was the women's side for last night. And of course, we have to talk about the men's from last night because we had some spectacular races. Let's go ahead and start with the 400 IM. We're going to have our very first Olympian crowned here for the men. We had Chase Kalish in the heat, and of course, you know, he was expected to win, but it was also a very, very strong heat. And they started off really quickly out of the gates. Beautiful strokes, and look at the lead that Chase Kalish has right here on the rest of the field, coming in for that great, great finish. Oh, and look who was there to cheer him on, the GOAT himself. You know you had a great race if Michael Phelps throws you a double pumper, and he threw a pumper back. Well, we had another spot on the Olympic team with the men's 400 freestyle. And this one was up for grabs. And right here, I mean, I'll tell you what, watching this, you can see right there that Kieran Smith just took off from the lead and just never let that lead go. Look at that, a half a body length already. And it's almost like watching a Katie Ledecky swim. That's how much he won by. Just spectacular. So congratulations to him. He is also a 2020 Olympian. We had a semifinal in the men's 100 breaststroke, and in the first heat we had Andrew Wilson, who was in there. Everyone was watching him because he's just got spectacular underwater work, and his stroke, again, wonderful. He's very low on the water, not a lot of undulation, and look at as he comes into the finish here and stretches in there, gets into the semifinals. He's shaking his head no, but I'll tell you what, that was a great swim. But maybe he was shaking his head because this guy, Michael Andrew, was in the next heat. He broke his American record in the prelims, and we were wondering, could he do it in the semifinals last night? And look at the lead that he already has. And again, half a body length. He hits the wall, and again, a new American record. We're gonna see if he can do it for a third time tonight. I think that we're gonna have a lot of really, really good swimming here tonight, so make sure you stick with us. Now, who is going to sign that drum next? We will see. Oh my gosh, so it is so exciting. We've already got some names up on that drum, and we are here now with someone who is in charge of all of these people who are signing the drum. Lindsay Mintenko, you are the national team managing director. How are you this week?
Oh, it's good. You know, we're so happy to be here.
Yeah.
We are so happy to be here, to get the opportunity to select the Olympic team, to take them to Tokyo so they can do what they do in front of the world. And that's ultimately what this is all about.
So let's talk about that. Last year, everyone's getting ready, everyone's tapering, and all of a sudden the world shuts down.
Yeah.
What then happens in your office?
It was pretty awful. It was pretty hard. It was really hard to listen to, because we would just get so many phone calls from athletes. Or what am I going to do? How am I going to train? Where am I going to go? And we just kept getting those daily and hourly. And so it was really hard. And so we just essentially completely pivoted our roles, and so we just tried to provide as much support as we could to our athletes and our coaches. We increased our mental health support quite a bit, and so we just tried to support them as best we could last year. And then once we heard the Olympics were back on again, it was full-on planning mode, and we had to pivot a lot with our plans, but I'm very fortunate to work with a lot of wonderful people, and we've been able to do it.
So let's talk about some of those plans that you had to pivot on. Like, what was the biggest one for you guys?
Training camp. As you know, there's always a training camp the U.S. holds right before the Olympic Games, and we've had a hard time finding a country that would let 80-plus people come in that they don't know about, and so during a global pandemic, it's quite hard. So we've been able to pivot, and we have a wonderful plan. We're extremely thankful for the USOPC and their support in helping with our plans, and so we're going to be ready when we get there.
Well, let's talk about getting there. Now, once we're there, things are going to be different. I mean, we've been hearing about it. What are you hearing that you're allowed to tell us that may be different for some of these athletes who have been there before? Because, like you said the other day, if you haven't been there, you don't know.
If you haven't been there, you won't know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, we've always talked about how the Olympic experience, getting to go to other sports and seeing other sports and seeing your parents in the stands. Those kinds of things aren't going to happen. We're going to be limited to the village and the venue, which will be, it's great that we can be there, which will be hard for some people. I mean, we can't walk across the street to get a cup of coffee, which will be a little bit something the coaches might struggle with that one a little bit more. But, we're going to be there. We're going to be behind the blocks, and we're going to be racing. Some of the biggest changes to include, we have to leave right away. We have to leave right after our races. And we were fortunate enough to get the entire team to be able to stay through the whole swimming period instead of having to leave immediately after the race, which was something we had to consider and we had to ask for an exception for. But, in our selection procedures, everybody is eligible for the relays. And so we were able to use that to help our athletes stay the entire duration of swimming. Unfortunately, they can't stay for the open water swimming, but they can stay for pool swimming and support each other and be in the stands, and they can be cheering each other on.
Okay, so they can be in the stands, because that was another question. Are they allowed to be together at least there?
Yes, swimmers are allowed to watch swimming events. Okay. We are not able to, watch a water polo event or an artistic swimming event or anything like that, but swimmers are able to watch swimming events.
Oh my gosh, this throws just a wrench in everything, doesn't it?
It just provides some challenges, and you know what? That's what we're here for. We're here to troubleshoot challenges, and like I said, I've got a wonderful team that I get to work with every day, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it, and I'm super proud of the team we've selected so far, and can't wait to select more tonight and throughout the week. And it's gonna be a great team.
It's going to be an awesome team. It's going to be so much fun to watch. There was something that was fun to watch back in the day. That was you when you swam.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So we're talking about, this is the 20th. Well, I guess it would be the 20th. It's 21st anniversary of Sydney.
Of Sydney.
So
how fun.
what were your memories that you brought from your own Olympic experience that you want to bring to these new athletes?
Yeah, well, it's so funny. We were in the stadium last night watching Tom Dolan win his 400 IM. And I remember Eric Vent forgetting his credential that day, and not being able to get back in the village and not being able to get into the venue, and just that whole emotion. And you can always expect something to go wrong at the Olympic Games, right? And so I think ultimately that's what I bring. Nothing is going to be perfect. Always expect something to go wrong. Plan for the unexpected, and you'll be fine.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, I can talk to you forever. Do you mind sticking around for just a minute?
To. Anything for you, Amy.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Lindsay. We are going to actually head into the pool, see what's going on over there. And then we'll come back. Oh, but before we do, we've got to show you where we are right now. We are in the Aqua Lounge. Now, if you're heading out to finals, just come join us. We have got so much going on over here. We have got, are you Special Warfare Fit? You can see how fit you are. You can see some of the new Toyotas. We've got Golden Road Brewing over here, so you can grab a nice beverage before you head in there. There's also some lovely sofas, as you see. Hang out, chill with your people before you go sit in the stands, because those seats are not going to be as comfortable as these sofas are. I can guarantee you that. You can also, go over and check out some of the gear that we have here from the different suit companies, and grab yourself some swag so that you can bring it home and say, see, I went to Olympic trials and all I got was this stupid t-shirt, which we all have to do when we leave, right? But this is just exciting. We've got tons of people
Omaha,
here.
we are
but
back.
right now we've got to
It
go
is
to the
nice.
arena.
I'm one of your hosts, Caitlin Santano, 2-time Olympian and 4-time Olympic medalist.
And I'm Brendan Hansen, 3-time Olympic medalist.
Brendan, last night we got started off so fast. What
It was
are
a
your
great
thoughts?
night. If that's anything of a precursor of what tonight's going to be, we're in really good hands. I just thought the crowd really got behind it.
Yes.
If you didn't hear it from every single athlete tonight, where they were talking about it last night, saying how much the crowd meant to them in all those races. And I think tonight, as they filter in, it's going to be the same.
Absolutely. We already have 3 athletes that are heading to Tokyo.
Yeah, so 400 IM, Chase Calais punched his ticket. In the 400 freestyle, Kieran Smith. And then in the 400 IM, Emma Wyatt, the youngster, 19-year-older, just came in at the end there. Exciting race.
That last under the flags, that was both of the IM races. They were, I mean, not that the 400 free was incredible, because obviously it was. Kieran just dominated, but the 400 IMs for me, that was just, both of them gave me chills. It's what the trials are all about, coming down to the wire. Who's going to Tokyo? Tokyo only 39 days away. It was postponed for over 18 months, but now here we are, only 39 days out. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and that is why we are here at the U.S. Olympic Team Trials 2020.
And let's talk a little bit about the selection process. We have 26 men and 26 women that will be selected. If you win the whole event, you're going to Tokyo. Also, in the 100 freestyle and the 200 freestyle, the top 4 finishers will make it. And that 52-person roster is what we're going to take to Tokyo. It's going to be a little bit challenging because we're adding 3 events in the Olympic lineup.
Yeah, it's super interesting and so exciting. Going over to Tokyo now, we're going to have the 1,500-meter women, 800-meter men, and then the mixed medley. That is going to be so exciting.
I wish I could have swum that race.
I'm so excited for those races. But like Brendan
Yeah.
said, the roster has to remain at max 52.
So just win your heat, win your event, and you're going to Tokyo. That's how we roll. Touch the
Absolutely.
wall first. Be a summer leaguer, right?
So obviously, fans, you're here, but anybody back home that wants to watch this meet, we are going live with NBC at 7 p.m. But that's where you guys all come in handy. We need your energy. Let everybody at home feel the crowd. Not only do these swimmers need you, but the whole environment of sending our athletes out to Tokyo. Get excited, get loud, get out of your seats. Let these athletes feel your energy.
I'm going to call my mom and go tell her
You
to
should.
turn on NBC and watch this.
And lastly, if you want to see yourself on the big screen, make sure you use the hashtag SwimTrials21. Don't go too far away. Start getting into your seats. We're going to touch base with Kevin and Michael to go over what we can be looking forward to tonight.
Thanks so much, you guys. We're going to head to the pool a little bit later, but right now I'm still talking with Lindsay Mintenko, who is the national team managing director. You are in charge of all of the swimmers that swam in the swimming pool,
Yes.
which is a lot. But you started out as a swimmer yourself. I mean, you were an amazing age group swimmer,
Well,
which then
thanks.
parlayed into an amazing collegiate swimmer. You were on the Olympic team, and you've had a lot of experience that you can bring into your job, right?
yeah.
So what little things do you pull from all of those different experiences to help these kids out?
Yeah, well, I think it just depends on who that kid is, you know, and I think it depends on who you're talking to. A lot of these athletes I've had an opportunity to work with for years. I mean, up until 2016, I was on Olympic teams with some of them. So it's you talk to them in different ways depending on how long they've been around and who they are, and ultimately it's the hardest thing as you go into an Olympics is you start with you're one athlete in a group of over 50, right? And you see everybody doing something that you've never done before and you've never seen be done before, and you start to question what you do, and you start to question why am I not doing that? Should I be doing that? Should I do? And Now's not the time. you know what you need to do. You know that how you got to yourself on the Olympic team. This is the hardest meet in the world, making the U.S. Olympic team, and you can ask any of the athletes out there. You can ask yourself, myself, and so. Do what you need to do for yourself. Don't change anything, because what got you here obviously is working really well.
Is that what you would tell your kids if they were in this meet?
I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. You know, I think, and especially for, I think, any athlete who has athletes who are in the same sport, I would think, don't try to be me. and be you, and don't try to be someone else. And it's very similar around those same lines.
It's a little like Trent and Julian, right?
Yeah.
With Christine Quantz is his mom, Jeff Julian's his dad, right?
And I swam with both Christine and Jeff, so it's really fun to watch, and it's fun to talk to them and see their perspective. And I think that they're very low key as well, and just watching and letting Trenton do what he needs to do,
which is just so fun.
It's
We've
so
known
fun.
him. So we've known him since before he was born.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when Trenton was born.
Right? Oh
Yeah.
gosh, it seems like yesterday,
Yeah.
and then you see his age.
I
I want to
know.
talk to you about something that some people were a little confused about last night.
Sure.
Announcing the first place person
Yeah.
as being on the team, not the second place person. This has been something that has gone on since the start of this
Early
whole
days,
thing.
yeah.
But can you just explain it to us and break it down
Sure.
so that I can understand?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's super complicated, to be completely honest. It's the Olympic team selection procedures are over 20 pages long. It's not just top 2 automatically go. There's a lot of things that obviously have to happen. But there were 14 individual events, and we're allowed to take 26 athletes. And so in the 100 and 200 freestyle, we take the top 4 because we really focus on relays. The relays are the priorities at the Olympic Games. And then we take the first place finisher in every other event after that. That puts us, right around that 20 plus mark, right? And so we just want to make sure that we have enough spots available because we can only have 26 athletes on the roster. And so if for some reason we wouldn't have 6 doubles, which is what it takes to get all the second place people on the team, we just want to make sure we're announcing the people who make the team and not making a mistake.
Gotcha. So it's 26 men and 26 women.
Correct. And even with the additional events. So they added the men's 800 and the women's 1500, and we still can only take 26 athletes. So again, we had, and this is the first year we've had to do that. So this is a very new experience for all of us. And so it's just going to take a little bit more time.
Oh my goodness! Did you guys fight for another spot with those extra events?
I mean, it's been kind of a long time ago. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. Yeah, no. I mean, I think that actually they're trying to reduce the amount of athletes that are in the Olympic Village, and so to ask for more athletes for swimming is maybe not the appropriate time, but maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Maybe
Because
someday.
I mean, listen, girl, it's a stressful job.
Yeah.
I remember watching people before you and you.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you do when you go back to your hotel room that you can just kind of do for yourself?
Yeah, I read. I read a lot. I brought my yoga mat with me. I'll be out at 6 o'clock in the morning running because it's way too hot to run right now.
Right.
So I'm a morning. I think most swimmers are morning people, but I'm a morning person. So I do a lot of things to try to take care of myself, and I FaceTime my kids.
Oh, I love that. That's you guys have a set night or set time every night?
Every night before they go to bed, because I'm usually awake, especially being a little further away. But every night before they go to bed.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. Lindsay,
Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough for spending time with
Of
me
course,
today.
happy to.
Thank you for
Yeah.
what you do for United States Swimming,
Thank
for
you.
all of these athletes. I just
Appreciate
know
it.
that it doesn't go unnoticed
Yeah,
that you
thank
are
you.
a rock star. And I wish
means a
you
lot.
the best in Tokyo.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Again, Lindsay Mintenko, who
Thanks,
is the
everyone.
National Team Managing Director. She is the head woman.
Yeah.
In the announcer's booth right now with Kevin Cargill. Kevin, we just got to get right into it because our ladies have some fast swimming
So
to go
much.
into tonight. Let's just get right into it. 100 butterfly.
Ooh, 100 butterfly. I don't know how we beat last night, but I think we're going to. Tori Husker, top seed and new American record holder.
Amazing.
Maybe more. Who knows? Claire Curzan, the 16-year-old sensation.
Right.
And how can we possibly forget Kelsey Dahlia, our
Can't.
defending Olympic trials champion? You can't. You're right. It's going to be exciting. 100 butterfly, just make sure you're in your seat. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. So we have the blend of rookies and veterans in this race. And honestly, 100 butterfly, anybody's game. It's been an interesting, progression to watch because over the last 5 months, I feel like these younger ladies have really turned it on.
I feel like everybody has stepped up. They've
Yes.
taken the extra 12 months
Yes.
to really push the envelope. And I mean, you have 3 of the top 6 swimmers in the world are in the pool tonight for one country, and we can only take 1 or 2 of them. It's crazy.
It's going to be so exciting. Make sure you're in the seats because that happens real quick. Let's get to the other women's final. We have the women's 400 freestyle.
Yeah, I don't think there's any mystery here. Katie Ledecky, I think to me the mystery is, will she respond to some little shots across the bow from down under?
Exactly.
From another swimmer who we won't mention because it's the American Olympic trials here. Yeah. But I want to see how fast she's going to go.
Absolutely.
I know that she's shaved and tapered for one of the first times in a long time. what she got. Then you've got Leah Smith. Paige Madden had an amazing swim this morning.
Yes.
How fast can they go tonight?
And then we have 2 semifinals tonight. Women's 100 breaststroke. I love this race.
It's so fun. I mean, you've got Lily King. Amazing, always. Bethany Gallant, Annie Laser, both swam fantastic swims this morning, really positioned themselves well. It's a semifinal, got to find those top 8. And then I have to mention Heather McCausland, who won Wave 1.
So amazing.
Is going to have her 4th 100 breaststroke swim tonight. I can't help but root for her.
I love that story. And quickly, we have to get into the women's 100 backstroke.
I mean, name after name after name, but Reagan Smith at the top, that's where we want to see her. How fast is she going to go?
It's going to be an exciting night. Let's cheer loud for these ladies. Up next, Brendan and Michael took over the men's events.
4.
And then 5, turn,
5.
kick.
We got chased by these wild coyotes.
We were following her because she had beef jerky in her pocket.
Someone behind me, come on. Pick that up, right there.
As long as you keep making the internet an amazing place to be, we'll keep bringing you a faster, more secure, and more amazing internet. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Once we start swimming,
we're in for life.
We swim with goals.
Let's get it going, come on.
With joy.
With our community.
a community that believes swimmers don't just do something fun.
They become something exceptional.
Come join us here, where we love this sport.
Well, we heard about the women's side, what to look for tonight, but we've got a preview for the men. But before we go back into the pool and talk about that, we have got a really special guy, a very special coach that Brendan Hansen got a chance to talk to. And this guy is finally going to retire his stopwatch.
Hi, everyone. I'm here on the pool deck in Omaha for this man's 12th Olympic trials. He needs no introduction. Eddie Reese, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Brendan. Thanks.
We're here tonight to honor Eddie Reese. And Eddie, I want to ask you this question. What do you think people say about you when they hear the name Eddie Reese?
Probably one of the funniest coaches there's ever been.
I knew that was coming. I teed you up for that. Well, what do you want them to say?
Oh, I would like to be right more than I'm wrong, and always fair.
You've watched the meet. We've already at one day in. How do you feel the competition is going and this whole meet in itself?
Well, I think the women are really teeing it up well. They're looking real good in their events, and the men are getting better. We'll be real good probably tonight. It's going to be some real good swims.
And over your 12 Olympic trials, how have you seen the sport evolve and change throughout those years?
Oh, my goodness. Right now, there are more swimmers around that their parents swam and were good swimmers than I've seen in a long time. And everybody's taller than I am. They have muscles. And it's an amazing transition.
Sure, and it makes for a pretty tight family in the swimming community, huh?
For sure. This is best sport, best people.
Well, let's give this man a nice round of applause for being probably one of the greatest family members this sport's ever seen.
That he is. Eddie Reese, so proud of you. It's really hard to see him retire. It truly is. I never thought that I would see the day. Eddie has been a staple for USA Swimming for so long, especially at the University of Texas. He's been there since the 60s, I believe. That was correct. And just a cool guy. Every single trip that I took as a national team member, Eddie was a coach on. Now, obviously, he was a coach on the men's side, not on the women's side, but he was always that guy where if you were down, if he could tell that something was wrong, he would come up and, tell you just a silly, dry humor joke to either make you think or to make you laugh. He was that guy who always had such a presence on the pool deck. You always knew when Eddie Reese was there. I will tell you, I wanted to swim for him. I wanted to be a Longhorn, even though I knew that he was not the women's coach. He was the men's coach. I still wanted to swim for him. He was that type of guy that everyone loved. Everyone wanted to get a piece of him, and they still do. You'll see people just flocking around him everywhere he goes. Just a special, special guy. So we wish him the best of luck and a continued storied career. And until then, let's check on a preview of tonight's swimming out in the arena with Brendan Hansen.
All right, we're in the booth here in the announcer. Let's put a face to the voice. Michael Parapat, you're announcing all the men's events, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man, my heart rate's up tonight. First event up, the 100 breaststroke. It's close to my heart. What do you have in it?
Well, I can't deny Michael Andrew. He has looked so good. The 2 American records back to back, and I think this is his time. He's prime. The table has been set, but I mean, this is a veteran group that's going to be chasing him on that second 50. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to come down to the end. You know, I think this is a point where maybe some people haven't shown what they have, but you know, it's going to come down to that last touch. And everybody that swims butterfly or breaststroke knows you got to hit that finish right, and that's what we're going to see.
Well, that closing speed last night from Nick Fink, that's something I think we're going to see again tonight. This is honestly going to be a fantastic race. Already a lot of fast swimming. We can see 3 guys here getting under 59 seconds.
And if there's one thing I can tell this crowd is that this is one event that I can hear you, they can hear you the entire time, so that might be the one that we need to get the loudest in.
That's right. And then 200 freestyle, we're going to have semifinal in that event, 2 heats of 8. And Brendan, we got to take a look at the world picture here.
Yeah, and this is the first time we're going to be picking 4 people for this team. How do you strategize in the semifinals to really put yourself in position? This is going to be some racing tonight, right, in the semifinal?
Big time racing in the semifinals. A lot of fast guys here. We saw Kieran Smith looking so smooth this morning after he won the 400 freestyle last night. And then you're going to have Drew Kibler, Patrick Callan out of Michigan. There's a lot of names here coming up.
And then you have the 100 backstroke. Seen the cruise this morning, like everybody was not really showing their colors, just really getting into it. Let's talk a little bit about the 100 backstroke semifinal.
100 backstroke, well, you got to give it up for the Golden Bears. They brought a great crew here.
They've
been making some noise.
Yeah.
And Bryce Mepper showed up this morning, along with, of course, the reigning Olympic champ, Ryan Murphy.
Yep. And so, with that race, you know, do you think they're going to bring it tonight or what?
Oh, absolutely. Look, in the 100 backstroke, we only had 4 guys break 54 seconds in 2016. Already 10 have done that here in 2020. This is a much faster event. You can't hold back if you want to get a spot in tomorrow night's championship final.
Mike, I don't like standing next to you. You get my heart rate up just talking. But guys, stick around. We're going to show you highlights from last night, and we're going to get this show started. Find your seat and get in it. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm so excited. Hearing the previews just I got chills up and down my spine. This is so huge. New Olympian's going to be crowned tonight. And let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule that we'll be watching on NBC in just a few minutes. So starting off, we are going to have just an outstanding race. We've got a few semifinals and a few finals. It is going to be spectacular. I'm really looking forward to, obviously, the men's 100 breaststroke. Can Michael Andrew break an American record for the 3rd time in the same swim meet? We will see. Also, the women's 100 butterfly, of course. I'm a 100 butterflyer, won the 100 butterfly in 96, so I am stoked to see who makes the team. And are we going to see another American record in that? I mean, that, you know, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that someone will have to win. They're going to have to break that American record. So anyway, that's what we're looking forward to tonight. I'll tell you what. I am going to go ahead and head over to NBC. I am going to watch all the action. And then after that, here's what I want all of us to do. We're going to come right back here when it's all done, after we have all the Olympians, and we're going to have the last session presented by Golden Road Brewing. And again, that's tonight after finals at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to wrap up the entire day. We're going to have USA swim coach Dave Marsh join us to talk about all the ins and outs of this swim meet and how he gets his swimmers ready. We're just going to see also someone who just made the Olympic team. They might join us here on deck. Or on desk. I'm going to say that they will. It was so cool last night. It's going to be even better tonight. And we're going to leave you right now with some sights and sounds from last night.